Yun. Naku, pen naman ngayon ang ayaw. Ang pangit na nabili kong pen. Okay, everyone, kindly please comment. Okay na po ang ating audio. Okay na rin po ba ang ating screen so that we can start now our discussion? Maraming salamat po sa paghihintay. Don't forget to like our live po and share this video sa ating mga kakilala. Okay, so good evening everyone. Our topic for today is pediatric disorder. We are going to start with the first disorder now. Sana po nandyan pa kayo. We are going to first start the first disorder today, which is your PDA or your patent ductus arteriosus. Okay, ulitin ko po. We are going to discuss our first topic today, which is your patent ductus arteriosus. Kindly please comment. Yes sir, andito pa kami. Let's go. Okay, let's go na lang ko. Let's go. Para po malaman ko kung meron pa akong estudyante dito ngayon. Okay, kasi ayan, I think meron pa 33 naman. Okay, thank you very much. Kindly please comment, let's go. Yun, let's go po. Okay, so PDA, patent ductus arteriosus mga kapatid. Okay, let's discuss your patent ductus arteriosus. When I talk about patent ductus arteriosus, this is a persistent, okay, persistent opening between, okay, two aorta, okay, or artery, between two arteries, should I say, okay, between two arteries. Sir, ano yung dalawang artery na involved? We have your aorta and your pulmonary artery. Again, PDA is an abnormal connection or persistent opening between two artery, which is your aorta and your pulmonary artery. So if we try to realize, to imagine kung ano po yan, if this is your heart, this is your pulmonary artery, and this is your aorta. So basically, nagkakaroon ng abnormal connection between the two aorta. So this abnormal connection is actually an opening. So basically, there is a mix of blood between your pulmonary artery and your aorta. Yun po ang ibig sabihin ng inyong patent ductus arteriosus. Take note that your ductus arteriosus is normal. It is normal during your pediatric circulation or infant circulation. Okay? Supposedly, it closes after birth. Okay? Again, ductus arteriosus is normal during infancy or your fetal circulation. Okay? Your fetal circulation. And it closed shortly after birth. It closed shortly after birth. However, due to problems with prematurity, okay, nagkakaroon tayo ng problema sa pagbaba ng prostaglandin. Okay? That is why the condition or the ductus arteriosus remained open. Okay? Kaya may persistent opening between two. Okay? This is more common. Ang condition na ito are more common in preterm infants. And when we talk about preterm infants, those who were born 37 weeks below. And this is also common to conditions with respiratory distress. Okay? This is the reason po kasi kapag hindi nakakahinga ng maayos ang bata, ang prostaglandin ay mananatiling mataas. Kailangan bumaba yun, okay? Para mag-close ang ating your patent ductus arteriosus, okay? Patent ductus arteriosus. So kung may problema ka sa breathing, that would also become another problem, okay? So kaya hindi po nagko-close yung patent ductus arteriosus natin. Now, what are the things that you need to remember kapag patent ductus arteriosus ang pinag-uusapan? You'll always remember PDA closes. Ano po ang ibig sabihin niyan? P, premature birth, okay? Premature birth. Ito po mga kailangan tandaan natin kapag sinabi nating PDA. Premature birth. Why premature birth, sir? Because this condition is common to children who were born prematurely. Letter D. It is common also to patient or to children with dyspnea. Okay? Dyspnea or your tinatawag nating tachypnea. Okay? Dyspnea or your tachypnea. This is from your pulmonary due to pulmonary over circulation. Due to pulmonary over circulation. Due to pulmonary over circulation. Yan po yung ating patent, ductus arteriosus. Okay? Letter A. Letter A. PDA, auscultate. Okay? Auscultate. During auscultation, auscultate a machine. Nagkakaroon tayo ng machine-like murmur. Machine-like murmur. Okay? There is a machine-like murmur, okay? Kapag tayo ay mayroong PDA. Closest, letter C. Letter C. Nagkakaroon ng congestive heart failure. Okay? Congestive heart failure, this is common in patient with severe PDA. Common in patient with severe PDA. PDA closest, letter L. Letter L po is left to right shunting. There is a left to right shunting. There is a lot left to right shunting. So this is wherein oxygenated blood flows back to the lungs. Yun ang ibig sabihin po nun. Okay, paano bumabalik yung oxygenated blood back to the lungs? If we try to remember yung drawing natin kanina, okay, let us see the drawing here. This is your lungs. So from the right ventricle, dapat nakaakyat na po ang dugo papunta sa ating lungs. Okay? Then babalik yan through pulmonary vein. Then from pulmonary vein to left ventricle and push blood into the aorta. And since there is an abnormal connection between the aorta and your pulmonary artery, yung dugo babalik ulit sa pulmonary artery, then it goes back into your lungs. So meron tayong shunting ng blood from left to right. So that's from left to right ventricular, okay, ventricular area, or specifically to pulmonary artery going back into your lungs. Yun po ang ibig sabihin ng left to right shunting pag meron tayong PDA na tinatawag. Okay? Letter O. Okay? Letter O. What is letter O, sir? Oxygen rich. Oxygen rich blood goes back to the lungs. Okay? Na-explain na po natin. There is more effort, nagkakaroon tayo ng sweating, okay, with feeds. Sweating with feeds, okay? Sweating with feeds. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng poor feeding infant. Poor feeding infant. Lalo na po sa mga severe cases. And this poor feeding infant would definitely develop later on yung tinatawag nating, okay, a failure to thrive. Okay, failure to thrive. Another one is letter E. Letter E. Again, PDA closest po tayo. Letter E, endocarditis. Endocarditis will become a risk, okay? Will become a risk, okay, if you have patent ductus arteriosus. And the last one is letter S, size matters, okay? Size matters. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng size matter? Pag small PDA, not concerned. Okay? Not concerned. Ibig sabihin, pag maliit lang po yung PDA or your patent ductus arteriosus, it will not be a cause of a problem. However, if the PDA is large, or big, problematic po yan. Problematic. Okay? Problematic. Again, PDA is common to children who are suffering from respiratory distress disorder. Oh my God. At what happened again? Na-delay na nga ng discussion, nagkaroon pa ng problema. Ayan. Let's try again. Let's try again. Oh, let's try to reconnect po. Let's try to reconnect. I'm sorry po for the problem. Yun. Akala ko nagka-problema na naman. Ulitin ko po, PDA po mga kapatid. Ay, wala pa din. Reconnecting pa din. It is supposed to be connected already. Ayon. Thank you very much po. Okay? Connected na po tayo again. Pag sinabi natin PDA closes po ang mnemonics natin. Here are the important things that you need to know. It is common to premature children. Okay, letter D, dyspnea or patient suffering from tachypnea, okay, which is due to pulmonary overcirculation. During auscultation, you will be able to hear machine-like murmur. And we have your CHF. CHF is your congestive heart failure, which can develop if there is a severe PDA or if there's a large PDA. Ang shunting po ng blood natin is from left to right, wherein some of the blood, okay, that already been oxygenated or comes from the lungs will go back into the lungs. Okay? Yun po yung sabihin niyan. S, sweating with feeds or poor feeding infant, and endocarditis, okay, there is a risk to development of endocarditis. And in terms of treatment of your PDA, size really matter. If there is small PDA, there is no necessary or not necessarily to manage the condition. Pero pag may large PDA tayo, it's gonna be problematic. Kailangan natin siyang gamutin. Okay? So that is your PDA. So ano ang ating drug of choice, mga kapatid? Baka lumabas na board exam. What is the drug of choice for this condition? Drug of choice is your indomethacin. Indomethacin. Kapag walang indomethacin, ibuprofen. If in case hindi nyo makita si indomethacin or ibuprofen, you can also check NSAIDs because both of these drugs are actually NSAIDs. Yun po ang ibig sabihin nun. So that is the drug of choice for your PDA. If in case na hindi po kaya ng gamot, okay, pwede naman pong mag-surgery. Ano ang surgery natin? Ang surgery natin is yung tinatawag na surgical ligation. Surgical ligation. So basically, surgical ligation is cutting the ductus arteriosus and closing the opening between the two artery. Yun po ang ibig sabihin ng ating surgical ligation. Okay? So that is your patent ductus arteriosus. Sana po nakuha natin yung mga kapatid. Let's go to our next topic po. Pag-usapan natin ang VSD. VSD, number 2 condition is your VSD. Ano naman po ang VSD, mga kapatid? This is your ventricular septal defect. Ventricular septal defect. Ventricular septal defect. Pag narinig nyo po ang ventricular septal defect, there is an abnormal opening, septum, between two chambers. Okay, if I may just write it here, draw. Okay, that is your heart, that is your right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. So what happened po pag meron tayong tinatawag na VSD? Ventricular septal defect, there is an abnormal opening. Abnormal opening between, okay, between the two ventricle, which is your left and right ventricle. Yan po ang nangyayari sa ating VSD na tinatawag. So pag sinabi nating VSD is basically a hole, this is basically a hole. Okay, in Tagalog, butas, there is a hole between two ventricle. there is a hole between two ventricle. Okay? Ventricle. So the ventricle is your left and right ventricle of the heart, and the blood flows from the high pressure area going to low pressure area. So alam po natin na mas mataas ang contractility ng left, okay, ventricle, kaya ang shunting po natin dito ay from left to right shunting na tinatawag. From left to right shunting. So that is your ventricular septal defect. So basically, nagkakaroon tayo ng increased pulmonary flow because the flow of blood increases, okay, into the right ventricle, at pag nagpunta yan, okay, sa ating pulmonary artery, tumataas ang pressure. Sir, bakit kasi tumataas ang pressure? Kasi may galing na tubig dito, may galing din na tubig doon. Okay? Kaya delikado ang condition na ito. So now, what is our technique, sir, para maitandaan natin ang ating VSD? Okay? Ang mnemonic na gagamitin natin ay your VSD holes. VSD holes. Ventricular septal defect holes. Holes is your butas. So pag-usapan natin, letter V. Okay? There is a ventricular septum. Always remember, pag VSD ang pinag-uusapan natin, there is a ventricular septum. Okay? There is a hole between the two ventricle. Letter S. Signs of heart failure. Signs of heart failure. So, pwede mag-develop daw ng signs of heart failure. Sir, ano yung mga symptoms na yun, sir? Pwede siyang magkaroon ng tachypnea. Tachypnea. Ano pa, sir? Poor feeding. Poor feeding, and of course, sweating, indicating that the heart is having difficulty na po to pump blood. Okay? Letter D. Letter D. Detection. In terms of detection, madedetect natin, okay, ang condition na ito via heart murmur. Via heart murmur, okay? Which is the most common finding. The most common finding. So pag may narinig kang murmur, you would suspect one of this condition. Okay? Detection, okay? Pag-usapan natin, okay? Letter H, holes naman po tayo. Holes. Dahil dito, nagkakaroon tayo ng heart enlargement. Okay? Heart enlargement. Sir, bakit nagkakaroon ng heart enlargement, sir? This is due to increased blood flow to the lungs. Okay? So kung maalala nyo, yung ating heart flow po, kung ito yung heart, okay? Then divided by different ventricles. Then we have your pulmonary artery. Then your aorta. As we have mentioned earlier, your left ventricle is a lot, okay, stronger compared to your right ventricle. So, ang nangyayari, the flow of fluid goes from left to right shunting. At dahil nagkakaroon ng left to right shunting, nagkakaroon tayo ng increased force or increased blood concentration sa right ventricle. Kasi may galing ditong dugo, may nanggagaling ditong dugo. So, tendency to push the blood, it requires larger force. And larger force requires larger muscles. Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng enlargement of the heart or your right ventricular hypertrophy na tinatawag. Or your RVH, right ventricular hypertrophy. Okay? Letter O. O. Low O2. Okay? I'm sorry. Pag sinabi nating O, we have your oxygen-rich blood. Okay? O2, rich blood. O2, rich blood. O2, rich blood flows back to the lungs. Again, tulad ng ating PDA, yung oxygenated blood bumabalik din po sa lungs again. Paano siya bumabalik, sir? Kasi nakikita nyo rito mga kapatid, no? Okay? Dahil sa left to right shunting, because of the open, yung nakikita nyo pa dito, because of the left to right shunting, blood in your left ventricle is already been oxygenated. Then it goes into right ventricle, then from the right ventricle into the pulmonary artery, papunta sa inyong lungs. Kaya yung oxygenated blood, bumabalik ulit ng lungs. Okay? Yun po ang ibig sabihin yan. Letter L. Let's talk about letter L. Okay? Letter L, under your VSD or your ventricular septal defect, there is what we call as your low oxygen level. Low O2 levels. Low O2 levels. Pag sinabi natin low O2 levels in the body, or in Tagalog or in other terms, nagkakaroon tayo ng, okay, nagkakaroon tayo ng hypoxia in some parts of the body. Okay? The next, E. Diagnostic test natin, echocardiogram. 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 This is to visualize the defect. Okay? Letter E is echocardiogram, to visualize the defect. And of course, this is an abnormal structure of the heart. Therefore, we have to correct this through your surgical procedure. Okay? We have to correct this through surgical procedure. Okay? So, ang condition na ito pwedeng mag-lead into heart failure. That's why we have to prevent heart failure as one of the complications. Okay, we have to monitor the condition through echocardiogram. Small VSDs naman po requires no treatment. However, for larger VSDs, dapat po natin silang i-treat. So what are the treatments, sir, aside from surgical? Okay, for large VSDs, magbibigay tayo ng diuretics. Magbibigay tayo ng ACE inhibitors. And okay, all your digoxin na tinatawag. Digoxin. So treatment natin is that, okay, diuretics, ACE inhibitor, and digoxin for pharmacologic treatment sa mga pasyente na may VSD or ventricular septal defect. Okay? Sana po maliwanag tayo dyan mga kapatid. Let us go to the next topic. Okay, after ng inyong patent ductus arteriosus, let us talk about your coarctation of the aorta. Number 3. Puro heart muna tayo. Coarctation of the aorta. Coarctation of the aorta. Pag sinabi natin coarctation of the aorta, pag-usapan natin ito, coarctation of the aorta, there is, okay, a narrowing or constriction. There is a narrowing or constriction of the portion of aorta. So sa isang parte ng aorta, nagkakaroon tayo ng constriction or narrowing. Like example, if this is the heart divided into 4 chambers, then this is the aorta. Yan. So this is what happened. So basically, this part here, that is your coarctation of the aorta. That part there. That is the coarctation of the aorta. Part of the aorta or a portion of the aorta becomes narrow, tendency, some of the fluids or some of the bloods cannot pass through. So this is the blood vessel going to your upper extremity. Ito naman yung papunta sa lower extremity. So basically, makikita mo dito, mababa ang pressure sa lower extremity while in your upper extremity, it becomes hypertensive. Why? Because kapag hindi siya makadaan dito, it will backflow and go into the upper extremity sides or blood vessels. Tapos, kokonti lang ang pumupunta sa lower extremity. Therefore, pressure on high, okay, pressure on high extremities or your upper extremities is higher compared sa lower extremities. Okay? So, pag hanapin nyo yan, which of the following is a correct symptoms, pwede nyo hanapin yon. Okay? Correct symptoms natin is dapat, okay, kung may bounding pulse, radial pulse, ang ating lower extremities, meron siyang weak pulse. Kasi mababa ang pressure sa baba. In order for us to remember this is the mnemonic. Ang mnemonic natin is coarctation. Remember coarctation whenever you are studying coarctation of the aorta. Let us go with number 1. Number 1, letter C, cyanosis. You heard it correct? Mayroon tayong cyanosis in severe cases. Okay? Commonly, the cyanosis can be observed in part of the lower extremities. Kasi nga, hindi masyadong nakakarating yung dugo in lower extremities. That is your cyanosis. Letter O, overactive left ventricle. Overactive left ventricle. Overactive left ventricle. Ano naman po ang ibig sabihin ng overactive left ventricle? Kasi nagkakaroon tayo ng increased pressure into the left ventricle by the narrowing. Dahil sa narrowing na diniscuss ko kanina, okay, nagkakaroon tayo ng backflow. And because of that backflow, the ventricle is now forced to push more in order for the pressure or the blood to pass through the narrowed part of the aorta. Okay, kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng overactive ventricle. This is in compensatory mechanism po kasi hindi masyadong nakakapasok yung ating dugo dahil sa aorta kasi may masikip na daan. Okay? Letter A, coarctation po tayo. Arm, leg. Arm, leg. Arm, leg, blood, pressure, discrepancy. Arm, leg, discrepancy. Yan. Arm, leg, blood pressure, okay? Blood pressure, discrepancy. So pag sinabi nating upper body, meron tayong increase BP. Lower body, meron tayong decrease BP. So pag sinabing bounding pulse, upper extremities, bounding radial, bounding brachial, bounding carotid, bounding femoral. Pero pag weak pulse, weak femoral, okay, or high bounding temporal, should I say. Pero kapag sinabi naman lower extremities or lower body, femoral is weak, popliteal is weak, dorsalis pedis is weak. Ibig sabihin, pag tinaas mo ang kamay mo, lahat ng taas na may presyon or blood pressure or makukuha mo yung pulso, mataas or pulse is strong. Pero kapag lower extremities, pulse is weak. Okay, coarctation of the aorta. Again, that is because of the coarctation, okay, on part of your artery. Now, tuloy natin. Letter R. Letter R. Meron tayong tinatawag na rib notching. There is what we call as your rib notching on X-ray. Of course, this is your chest X-ray. Okay, rib notching or your on your X-ray. This is caused by collateral blood vessels that develop by bypassing the narrowing. Okay, that is caused by your collateral blood vessels that develop to bypass the narrowing. So basically, nag-compensate po yung mga blood vessels natin. Okay? Letter C, cold feet. Cold feet. Why is the cold feet? Okay? Or cold extremities. There is a cold feet or cold extremities wherein the lower limbs might be colder due to decreased blood flow. Tulad ng sabi ko kanina, mas mataas ang blood flow sa upper extremities kaysa sa lower extremities. Again, ang topic natin dito is your coarctation of the aorta. Okay? Next, okay, letter T. Letter T, tachycardia. So the tachycardia is a compensatory mechanism due to the heart's effort to overcome the obstruction. Okay? Because the heart, okay, the heart or the brain was able to sense na may kulang po sa blood flow sa different part of the body. That's why the heart is trying to pump more blood in order to achieve, okay, or deliver enough oxygen sa mga lower extremities natin. Okay? Another one, letter A, aortic valve issues. Aortic valve issues. Ano naman po ang ibig sabihin ng aortic valve issues, mga kapatid? Okay? Nagkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag na heart problem or issues with the aortic valve. Like for example, there development of problem in your bicuspid or the valve that separates the left atrium and left ventricle pwedeng masira, causing now your heart problem. Okay? Another one is letter T, coarctation. Letter T, tiring easily. Your AC fatigability, okay? AC fatigability, tiring easily, or AC fatigability, or your exercise intolerance. Exercise intolerance. Letter I, meron din tayong tatawag na infant syndrome. Infant syndrome. This is common to severe cases, okay? To severe cases of your coarctation of the aorta. Ano po ang infant syndrome? Meron tayong tinatawag na difficulty to weight gain or weight gain. Okay? Difficulty weight gain. Meron din tayong difficulty of feeding. Difficulty of feeding and respiratory distress. So the child may suffer, okay, infant syndrome in severe cases, which is difficulty to weight gain, okay, or gain weight, difficulty of feeding, and your respiratory distress. Letter O, last two po tayo, occasional high blood pressure. Okay, occasional high blood pressure. And this is common to upper body or to upper extremity. Occasional high blood pressure. Occasional high blood pressure. And the last one, letter N, narrowed aorta. Narrowed aorta. So that is your NAIOR. Yun. I'm sorry for that po. Nagkaroon ako ng problem sa connection ulit. So that is your aorta. Okay? That is your aorta. So salamat po sa paghihintay. Let us continue. That's your coarctation of the aorta. Let us proceed po mga kapatid. Pag-usapan natin ang pang-apat. Okay? Start broadcasting again. Ayan, pediatric disorder po ang topic ko ngayon. Nakatatlong sakit na po kami. PDA, VSD, and coarctation of the aorta. Coarctation of the aorta. Okay, our next topic naman po ngayon is I'm going to discuss now your pulmonary stenosis. However, I am now having problems na naman with the connection. Ba't kaya? Nakaka-bad trip naman tong internet na to. Start broadcasting. O hindi ko na malayan, may mga nag-send po pala. Okay, thank you very much for those who are sending. It would really help me to sustain this live sessions. Ayan. Sige po, gagawin na nating madalas po ito, lalo na pag ako po ay wala na sa nursing review. Okay? By June po, mapapadalas po yung aking lecture and end of this July. Kasi ako po ay wala na talaga sa school. Anyway, tuloy po natin. Okay? Our next topic, after your coarctation of the aorta, okay, after ng coarctation of aorta, I am now going to discuss the next topic, which is your pulmonary stenosis. Number 4, pulmonary stenosis. So let's discuss your pulmonary stenosis mga kapatid. When I talk about pulmonary stenosis, ladies and gentlemen, discard mo natin yung heart. If this is the heart, this is the fourth chamber. Then meron tayong blood vessel that delivers blood from your right ventricle into your lungs. So basically, this blood vessel here, that is your pulmonary artery. When I talk about stenosis, this is hardening or stiffening of the valve, specifically your pulmonary valve. Where is this pulmonary valve located? Here. That is your pulmonary valve. Basically, that valve there is the one that prevents the backflow once the blood enters the right ventricle into the pulmonary artery. So siya ay nagpe-prevent po na bumalik. However, this valve here becomes stiff or nagkaroon ng stenosis or hardening na tinatawag. Because of the stiffness or hardening, what will happen? This one here will become narrow. So basically, when you hear the word pulmonary stenosis, there is a narrowing of pulmonary valve. There is a narrowing of pulmonary valve. Ulitin ko po yan. Pulmonary stenosis means that there is a narrowing of the pulmonary valve. Okay? Pulmonary valve. So basically, what will happen here? Because the blood is unable, okay, let's have it color blue. So basically, the blood from your right ventricle should go up into the pulmonary artery. But since this valve is narrowed, not all blood, okay, can go into the pulmonary artery. Now, what will happen is that more blood will accumulate on your right ventricle. More blood will accumulate in your right ventricle, causing now the right ventricle to fail. So basically, this condition can lead to congestive heart failure, specifically the right-sided heart failure or congestive heart failure. Sir, bakit nagkakaroon ng right congestive heart failure? As I've mentioned, the right ventricle will be overwhelmed with the blood accumulated because continuously blood will go from the circulation into the heart going into your right ventricle. Supposedly, the blood should be pumped into the pulmonary artery, but what happened here is the passageway, which is the pulmonary valve, the gate, becomes narrowed. If this part here is narrow, blood will be accumulating on your right ventricle. Then tendency, it will create a strain on your right side of the heart, causing now failure, leading into congestive heart failure, which is your right congestive heart failure. So magkakaroon tayo ng backflow from right ventricle into the left atrium, into the right atrium, and your right atrium will also be failing to contain now the blood, and it will push the blood from the right atrium into the circulation, causing now symptoms of right congestive heart failure, which includes edema. Okay? Which includes edema. So, if this condition is not treated, the right heart failure increases the pressure, okay, in the right ventricle, and extreme cases, it will develop cyanosis. Sir, bakit magde-develop ng cyanosis? Because the blood, the unoxygenated blood, will not be able to go into the heart. Pag hindi nakarating sa puso ang inyong dugo, into the lungs, if the blood is unable to reach the heart, or should I say the lungs, it will not be reoxygenated. Now, for us to remember this, whenever you encounter pulmonary stenosis, you always look for this mnemonic, pump. Ano ang ibig sabihin ng pump na yan, sir? Again, pump for pulmonary stenosis means letter P, there is a pressure increase. There is a pressure increase in the right ventricle. As I have mentioned, the pressure in the right ventricle increases because the blood cannot go up into the left or into your pulmonary artery into the lungs. Hindi po kasi makaakyat yung dugo papunta sa pulmonary artery going into your lungs because the valve is narrowed or your pulmonary unoxygenated blood stays in the body. stays in the body. Therefore, this condition is considered as, okay, cyanotic disorder. This condition is considered as cyanotic disorder. Sir, bakit sa cyanotic disorder? Because the blood, most of the blood stays in the right side of the heart, specifically in your right ventricle, and is having a hard time to go into the lungs for reoxygenation because of the narrowing sa pulmonary valve. Kaya nga, this condition is more on right-sided heart failure. Letter M, patient may develop murmur. Nade-develop siya ng murmur, which is the characteristics that is commonly heard upon auscultation. And letter P, as I've mentioned, the blood wasn't able to reach the lungs for the oxygenation. So there is a possibility of cyanosis. Possibility of cyanosis. Okay? Possibility of cyanosis. So that is your pulmonary artery. So assessment natin dito, of course, may cyanosis tayo. Meron tayo, and since there is cyanosis, okay, magkakaroon tayo ng grasping for more air, which is your tachypnea. Plus, since there is a decreased circulatory blood, okay, into the different parts of the body, the volume of circulating blood will decrease tendency. It will not deliver the blood that contains nutrients as well. So pag hindi na-develop yon, okay, mas nagiging prone for infection ng pasyente, magiging bansot at hindi lumalaki ng tama. And backflow happens from the right side of the heart into the circulation. Tendency, edema is also possible. O, ilagay na natin dyan. Cyanosis and edema. Okay? Cyanosis and edema. So take note of that. So that is your pulmonary stenosis. Pulmonary stenosis or the narrowing of your pulmonary, okay, valve. Continue po tayo. Let us continue. Let us continue. Next topic natin, number 5. Panglima pa lang po. I'm sorry kasi na-delay tayo kanina. Number 5, pag-usapan natin si tetralogy of Fallot. Tetralogy of Fallot. From the word itself, tetralogy of Fallot, this is a condition wherein nagkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag na 4-in-1 condition. 4-in-1 condition of the heart. Sir, ano yung 4-in-1 condition of the heart na yan? Ang mnemonic natin ay tinatawag nating prove. So what are those 4 conditions, sir, na tinatawag na prove? Pulmonary stenosis. Pulmonary stenosis. We have your R, right ventricular hypertrophy. Right ventricular hypertrophy. We have your right ventricular hypertrophy. Then we have your overriding of the aorta. And the last one is your ventricular septal defect. So that is the 4 condition under your tetralogy of Fallot. Oh, thank you for those who have sent and who have followed us for tonight. Thank you po. Okay, sorry, pasensya na rin po sa mga delays. At maraming salamat po sa mga nag-resend ng kanilang appreciation. Okay, may mga nag-send po ng mga roses. Maraming salamat po. Okay, so again, ang ating mnemonics for that 4 condition of your tetralogy of Fallot is your pulmonary stenosis, right ventricular hypertrophy, overriding of the aorta, and your VSD. Sir, paano nangyari ang mga yan, sir? Okay, let us discuss this. Paano po nangyayari ang mga yan? Okay? Let us draw your heart. Gawin nating malaki. So this is basically your heart. Okay? Let us draw the structures. This is your pulmonary artery. Then we have there the pulmonary valve. Then we have here your tricuspid valve, pulmonary valve. bicuspid valve. Then we have your oxygenated na ito, aorta. Then your aortic valve. Okay? Isa-isahin po natin yan. So again, pulmonary stenosis happens here. Pulmonary stenosis is basically the hardening of your pulmonary valve that causes now narrowing. Because of the narrowing of your pulmonary valve, nagkakaroon ng backflow into your right ventricle. Your right ventricle will be accumulated with blood coming from the backflow and the continuous delivery of blood from your right atrium. So tendency, your ventricle will try to compensate and increase its muscle to contract more blood. Kasi nga, nagkakaroon ng difficulty of pushing the blood from here, into, your pulmonary artery. So tendency, pulmonary stenosis that leads into right ventricular hypertrophy or the enlargement of the right ventricular muscles. That's your right ventricular hypertrophy. Plus, aside from the pressure, that created by the pulmonary stenosis, nagkakaroon pa ng tinatawag na overriding of the aorta. What does overriding of the aorta means? In the first drawing, nakita natin na your aorta should only be located on your left ventricle. However, in the case of patient with tetralogy of Fallot, nagkakaroon ng overriding of the aorta. What does it mean, sir? Overriding of the aorta means a portion of the aortic opening is also situated within the right ventricle. Within the right ventricle. So meaning, some blood from your right ventricle, which is unoxygenated, goes into the aorta. And take note, aorta should only be containing oxygenated blood. That is why it is located here in the left ventricle. But in this case, a portion of the opening is located on your left or right ventricle, should I say. So that is your overriding of the aorta. And the last condition is yung tinatawag nating ventricular septal defect. So the ventricular septal defect happens naman here. So that's the fourth condition, causing now mix-up of blood between the two ventricles. So again, ulitin natin yan, bilugan ko. So here's your first condition. The first condition, okay, let's have it with the green. This is your pulmonary stenosis. This is your ventricular hypertrophy, right? This is your overriding of the aorta. Opening of the aorta is partially on the right side of the heart. And we have here your ventricular septal defect. So there is a four condition within one heart. Apat na sakit, isang puso. Okay? So what are the things that we need to remember in studying now your tetralogy of Fallot? Aside the mnemonics nating prove, which refers now to the condition, OMG, nag-out na naman. Pasensya na po ha, hindi ko alam. I think it's the connection issue. Connecting issue talaga. Sa internet po ata to. Okay, thank you for those who have followed us tonight. May mga nag-send din po ng kanilang gift. I really appreciate it po. Okay, I do encourage you also to send so that we can sustain this type of activity po na gagawin natin in the future pa. Yan. So maraming salamat po sa mga patuloy na nagbibigay. Okay? Now, what are the things, okay, in terms of your, okay, tetralogy of Fallot? Pag-usapan natin, rapid. Rapid. So these are your symptoms of tetralogy of Fallot. The symptoms of tetralogy of Fallot. Rapid. Let's go with R. Ano yung R, sir? Meron tayong right to left. Shunting. Right to left shunting. Commonly, if there is a ventricular septal defect, shunting commonly happens from left to right. However, in the case of your tetralogy of Fallot, because of the right ventricular hypertrophy, the muscle in your right ventricle becomes larger compared sa inyong left atrium or left ventricle, should I say. Therefore, the possibility of shunting is more on right to left because the larger muscle due to right ventricular hypertrophy. Mas malakas na muscle, mas malaking muscle, mas malakas ang pushing force. Therefore, na-overwhelm si left ni right, ang shunting natin is right to left. That is the first R under your symptoms of tetralogy of Fallot. Letter A. Meron tayong tinatawag na action. This action, okay, refers to your action spells or yung tinatawag na blue spells. The action spells or the blue spells. Sir, bakit nagkakaroon ng blue spells or action spells? So, action spells is basically your cyanosis. Sir, paano nagkakaroon ng cyanosis? Kasi nga, hindi nakakarating ang dugo sa lungs. So in tetralogy of Fallot, it is hard for the unoxygenated blood to go into the lungs because there is what we call as your pulmonary, okay, stenosis. Because of the pulmonary stenosis, it hinders now the transfer of blood from your right ventricle into the lungs. Kaya hindi nare-reoxygenate ang dugo. Therefore, okay, yung pumapasok na dugo sa ating left ventricle comes from the right ventricle through your ventricular septal defect. So basically, yung dugo na nasa left ventricle, should I say, are unoxygenated not from the heart, not from the lungs, but from the right ventricle. So lalabas yan sa ating aorta, okay? Kasama nung dugo na galing sa right ventricular area through your overriding of the aorta. Therefore, the blood that is circulating all throughout the body are considered as unoxygenated. Therefore, patient develops cyanosis. Hence, the action spells or yung tinatawag nating blue spells. So, action spells is a sudden increase in cyanosis, especially when the child is crying. Okay? Baka magtaka kayo, commonly, this is also known as your TET spells. Again, TET spells is the sudden bluish condition, sudden cyanosis when crying. Sudden cyanosis when crying, known as action spells, blue spells, or your TET spells na tinatawag. Okay? So that is your tetralogy of Fallot. Letter P. Letter P. Poor feeding. Poor feeding is a common manifestation to all infants with heart condition. This is due to, okay, due to quick tire. Madaling mapagod. Take note that when a baby or an infant is feeding, they are consuming too much oxygen. First is to the effort of sucking, and another one is for the digestion. In the case of patient with heart condition, specifically with patient na meron tayong tetralogy of Fallot, there is a poor circulatory volume of blood that contains oxygen. Therefore, patient can easily be tired in doing, okay, even simple tasks. O yung tinatawag nating activity intolerance na tinatawag. Okay? Letter I. What does I means? Irritability. Irritability. So, due to hypoxia and discomfort, okay, nagkakaroon tayo ng irritability. And the last one, of course, is your difficulty of breathing or your dyspnea. Difficulty of breathing or your dyspnea. Difficulty of breathing or your dyspnea. Okay? Difficulty of breathing or dyspnea. So that is your tetralogy of Fallot. Difficulty of breathing or dyspnea. Difficulty of breathing or dyspnea. So sir, pag sinabi nating tetralogy of Fallot mga kapatid, okay? Tetralogy of Fallot. Ano ang nangyayari or kapag if in case na magtatanong ang mga pasyente natin, so with child na may tetralogy of Fallot, okay, bakit po nag-squatting ang mga pasyente? Ito yung tinanong kasi sa board exam, okay? Ano kaya ang interventions natin? Okay? Yung tinatawag nating niches or even your squatting. So bakit nag-squatting ang bata nag-suffering from tetralogy of Fallot? Because squatting would increases the return of venous blood into the heart. Therefore, it will ease the difficulty of breathing sa mga pasyente na may tetralogy of Fallot. To patient with tetralogy of Fallot, you have to monitor hypoxia as well. Okay? And monitor for hypoxia, especially during crying. The condition for this condition, to lessen the activity, you have to remain the patient's calm, okay? And the only management here to manage the condition is really your surgical repair, okay? So the VSD needs to be required. We need to relieve the pulmonary stenosis and also repair the aorta so that the aorta will be then situated sa ating left ventricle. Yes, tama po si Lucy. Okay, the squatting or your tripod position is the position of choice to children suffering from tetralogy of Fallot to increase the venous return, okay, doon sa dugo ng ating, into the heart of the patient with tetralogy of Fallot. But of course, the condition will not be managed unless it is surgically repaired. Okay? So those are the common heart conditions po na available kapag pediatric condition. Ulitin natin, meron tayong pulmonary stenosis, we have your tetralogy of Fallot, coarctation of the aorta, and your ventricular septal defect. Okay? Let us continue po. Mag-discuss pa tayo. May oras pa naman. Okay? Mamaya po kasi ako ay mag-iimpake because we will be traveling tomorrow to Zambales. Medyo hinabol ko lang po ngayon talagang mag-lecture as requested by my students. So sana po nandyan pa kayo at sana ay nandito rin sila para mapakinabangan naman nila yung request nila na discussions about pediatric conditions. Okay? Let us discuss now. Ang next topic po natin ay yung tinatawag na let's go to respiratory system. Upper respiratory infection. Let's discuss upper respiratory infection or your URI or urinary upper respiratory tract infection or URTI. So basically, from the word itself, this is an infection either caused by a bacteria or a virus. Between the two, okay? Between the two, mas mataas po ang chance na mag-cause ng complication ang bacterial pneumonia. Bacterial pneumonia are commonly caused or bacterial infection are commonly caused by your streptococcus infections. And this would later on lead to pharyngitis, tonsillitis, and other conditions. Okay? Yun po ang ibig sabihin nun. So, upper respiratory tract po yan. So, upper respiratory tract infection, okay, includes now the nose, sinuses, throat, and the larynx. So, it commonly caused by a virus, but mas deadly ang mga conditions that is caused by a bacteria. Okay? Kaya mas nangangailangan po ng treatment ang mga pasyente na nagkakos ng bacteria. Though, common din po sa bacteria, pero mas malamang po common sa, yung common colds natin is due to viruses. And because of that, ang mnemonic natin dito is your cold. When I talk about cold, ano yung mga symptoms niya? There is cough, okay? Ongoing sore throat, okay? Low-grade fever, virus po kasi ito, and there is a decreased appetite. So these are the most common cause or the most common symptoms of patient suffering from upper respiratory tract infection. Okay? So ano yung mga treatment natin sa mga pasyenteng ito pag may upper UTI, upper URI, should I say, your upper respiratory tract infection? Treatment natin is more on antibiotic to prevent secondary infection. Antibiotic, because your viral infection may later lead into bacterial infection. Antibiotic, okay, to prevent secondary infection. Antibiotic to prevent secondary infection. Number 2 is your hydration. Okay, encouraging hydration, okay, helps now to liquefy the secretions. Number 3 is rest, of course, because when you have upper respiratory tract infection, your oxygenation would also decrease, causing now activity intolerance, because the more you do activities, the more you consume oxygen. Therefore, you have to promote rest. Okay? And of course, number 4, monitor for complications. Monitor for complications. So monitoring for complication is also important, because if there is already a complication, that would now the start of more problem. Okay? So yung mga common conditions natin. This upper respiratory infection, pag hindi na manage, will lead to further condition. What are those conditions? Let's talk about your pharyngitis. Pharyngitis, common ito sa mga bata. Pag sinabi nating pharyngitis, this is an inflammation due to an infection, inflammation of the pharynx. Inflammation of the pharynx, okay? So kadalasan po ang pharyngitis is caused by group A, strep. It is commonly caused by group A, streptococcus, o yung tinatawag na gas. Strep A, streptococcus, or your gas, which causes now strep throat na tinatawag, okay? So what are the signs and symptoms of your pharyngitis? Always remember strep. Signs and symptoms of pharyngitis. Always remember strep. We have your sore throat. Okay, we have your tonsillar exudates. Tonsillar exudates. We also have your rashes, or yung commonly called as your scarlet rash. Scarlet rash. Then of course, since there is an infection, the child may develop enlarged lymph nodes. Enlarged lymph nodes, and your painful swallowing. Painful swallowing. Painful swallowing. So those are the signs and symptoms of your pharyngitis, which is your strep. So depending now on what type of causative agent or organisms causes the infection, if it's a bacteria or a virus. If it's a bacteria, then of course we will need to give antibiotic. But if it's viral, we just need to manage the signs and symptoms because mga viral infection naman po are self-limiting. Of course, accompanied by other management including pain management. Okay? For pain management, we have to give pain management, hydration, rest periods is also included. Okay? So those are the things that you need to remember pag pharyngitis po ang pinag-uusapan natin. Pharyngitis. So let me just take note let's check my one here. Okay? So if in case that a person with pharyngitis develops your tonsillitis, okay, they need to have rest periods plus taking note of pain reliever. Penicillin should also be given to manage the condition, lalo na pag nag-lead into pneumonia. And increased hydration is also necessary. And if case that the swelling is too much, causing now the tonsils to touch each other, okay, o yung tinatawag nating kissing tonsils, we have to decrease the swelling or swelling by giving now your prednisone or your immunosuppressant drugs. Okay? Immunosuppressant drugs. So that is your pharyngitis. Okay? May shortcut lang po tayo ngayon kasi marami tayong mga i-discuss pa. Okay? Let's discuss next is your tonsillitis. Kasi yung target ko ngayon, mga dapat until 11 lang sana. Pero baka abutin tayo ng 12 kasi nga nagkaroon tayo ng problema sa connection. Anyway, from the word itself, tonsillitis is the inflammation of your tonsils. So inflammation of the tonsils can either be your virus or your bacteria. So if it's a bacteria, it is caused by group A, Streptococcus bacteria, which is the most common cause of tonsillitis and pharyngitis. Now, in terms of the signs and symptoms, tonsillitis, okay, develops the symptoms, and we will be using your tonsils as your mnemonics. Tonsils. So what are the signs and symptoms of your tonsillitis, sir? Signs and symptoms includes, of course, hindi mawawala si throat pain, and your dysphagia or your difficulty of swallowing. So basically, your throat pain or your dysphagia is actually, your throat pain is your sore throat, which leads now to your dysphagia or difficulty of swallowing. Okay? Letter O, nagkakaroon ng open mouth breathing. Why? So the open mouth breathing is actually a compensatory mechanism to widen the respiratory opening because of the swollen tonsils. Okay? Another one is your neck swelling. Neck swelling, okay, because of the enlarged lymph nodes as one of the symptoms or signs of your tonsillitis. Of course, hindi mawawala dyan si swollen tonsils. At pag yan ay kissing tonsils na, it indicates grade 4 tonsils that requires an immediate management because it tend to block the airway. Okay? Letter I, since there is an infection, there is an increased chance for fever. But fever is commonly due to bacterial infection. Okay? So kapag bacterial infection yan, meron tayong tonsillitis accompanied by a fever, kahit wala nang test yan or swab, okay, automatic, the child will be given antibiotic to manage the condition. Then of course, lethargy is one of the manifestation. Lethargy. Lethargy is one of the manifestation. And of course, hindi mawawala si sore throat. Inulit lang. Okay? Sore throat. So these are the signs and symptoms of patient with tonsillitis. So what's gonna be the treatment, sir? Lagyan natin dito sa side. The treatment, of course, hindi mawala ang pain relief. Kadalasan, we can give your paracetamol or we can give your paracetamol or your NSAIDs. Depende kung complicated sa pasyente. Okay? So commonly, ang binibigay natin is paracetamol or NSAIDs or your acetaminophen or ibuprofen na tinatawag. Okay? Acetaminophen or your ibuprofen. Okay? To manage the pain, pwede din tayo magkaroon ng or magawa ng warm gargles of salt water or tubig na nilagyan ng asin. Okay, warm gargle po. Warm gargle. Okay? Then, of course, aside from pain relief, magbibigay din tayo ng hydration. Especially, the child is losing fluid pag nilalagnat. Antibiotics for bacterial causes. Okay? Then, kapag 3 times na or frequent siya na nagkakaroon ng tonsillitis, maaring mag-undergo siya ng tonsillectomy. If I'm not mistaken, kapag 3 times kang nagkaroon ng tonsillitis in 1 year, pwedeng i-recommend ang tonsillitis. Okay? And of course, rest periods is also prescribed. And you have to monitor for complication. Monitor for complication. So those are the treatment of your swollen tonsils or your tonsillitis. Oh, thank you very much for staying, guys. Okay, sana po ay may nakukuha po tayo or may natututunan. And for those who have stayed, thank you very much. At sa mga continuous po na nagbibigay, maraming salamat din. And thank you to our new followers. Okay? Sa mga nagbibigay, maraming salamat po sa inyo. Okay? So that is your tonsillitis. Next, pag-usapan natin, isa pang common condition sa pedia is your sudden infant death syndrome. Common na common ito, lalo sa board exam. Sudden infant death syndrome. Pag-usapan natin si SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. Sudden infant death syndrome. Check ko lang po. Or your SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. Anyway, okay? So sudden infant death syndrome, okay, or also known as SIDS, is referred to your unexpected or unexplained death of an infant under 1 year old. Okay? Unexpected death of infant, so less than 1 year old. Unexplained or unexpected death of infant less than 1 year old, okay, usually during sleep. Okay? During sleep. Usually during sleep. So natutulog siya, hindi na nagising, or bigla na lang namatay. Okay, there are several causes, but okay, there are several factors that can lead to the condition. However, the exact cause is unknown. Okay, is unknown. Okay, some factors includes sleep positioning, parental smoking kung may naninigarilyo daw sa bahay. Okay, prematurity or low birth weight, yung edad ng bata between 2 to 4 months, and sleeping environment. Those are possible risk factors. Okay? Now, ang kadalasan tinatanong kapag SIDS is your prevention and control. So for the prevention and control of your SID, we will be using the mnemonics SIDS safe. So what are the condition? SIDS safe. What is SIDS safe? Okay, child should sleep on back. Make sure na ang bata ay naka-flat on bed whenever they are sleeping. Babies sleep on stomach or side are at higher risk to develop SIDS. Okay? Another one. Okay? In a safe crib. In a safe crib. Take note that the crib should be firm and not too soft. Because if it's too soft, tendency mas lumulubog yung bata, okay? Or dapat walang masyadong pillow na nakatabi sa baby. Because sometimes it will cover their airway, causing now the death. Okay? Another one is don't smoke. Lalo na sa mga third-hand smokers. Don't smoke lalo sa mga third-hand smokers kasi one factor is actually your parents who are smoking. Okay? As much as possible, stay with baby. Okay? Breastfeeding and supervised tummy time are recommended. Okay? So that is why every 2 to 3 hours dapat pinapasuso din ang bata. This is also one of the reason for us to check. Okay? If the child is still breathing. Letter S, okay? Letter S, sleep in the same room. Sa Pilipinas, hindi po ito masyadong problema because most of the time, the mothers and the baby sleeps together. Okay? Unlike sa ibang bansa, okay, that they are sleeping with the nursery doon sa bahay. Okay? So, but there are instances po na mas maganda pa rin na nakaseparate siya ng kama but with the same room. Okay, that is more advisable. Okay? Sleep in the same room but different bed. Yun ang ibig sabihin. Okay? Avoid overheating. Avoid overheating. Keep the room at a comfortable temperature and avoid too many blankets sa bata. Lalo kung mainit naman na po sa lugar. Okay? Letter F, nasabi ko na ito kanina, firm mattress. Firm mattress. Use of firm mattress will avoid soft or plush beddings. And the last one is encourage breastfeeding. Encouraging the mother to breastfeed her infant would now create more opportunity for the mother to check her infant. Kaya nga ang recommended time natin ng pagpapasuso is as per demand and you have to offer breast milk within 2 hours. Within 2 hours. So those are the safety consideration pag ang bata ay may SIDS. So anong symptoms ng SIDS? Wala, patay. Walang malay, okay? So therefore, the child is dead, okay? So what are the nursing management? Nakalagay na rin dyan. Nursing management, sleep position. They have to sleep in their backs. You maintain a safe environment wherein you have to stay with the same room with the child with a firm mattress sa kanyang higaan, okay, or crib, okay? Avoid smoking and continuously breastfeed the child. So that is your SIDS po, okay? Your management natin for SIDS, okay? Let's discuss now next, primary complex. Primary complex. Pag sinabi nating primary complex, this is actually PTB in children. PTB in children. So pag sinabi nating PTB in children, pulmonary tuberculosis in children, causative agent niyan is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So it affects the lungs if there is someone near to him or her na may tuberculosis, pwede po siyang mahawa pamamagitan ng respiratory tract infection. Okay? Pwede siyang mahawa through your respiratory tract infection. Okay? Now, in order for us to determine or maalala ang inyong primary complex, mnemonics natin is TB infant. So, since this is a condition common sa mga bata. Primary complex. TB infant. What does TB infant means? Tuberculin, okay, test positive. Tuberculin test positive. Pag sinabi natin tuberculin test positive, this is actually your exposure test. Exposure test. At pag more than 10 millimeter, pag more than 10 millimeter ang kanyang condition o yung will niya, okay, that's considered positive po. Okay? Binabasa po ito kadalasan 48 to 72 hours after administration. Para po siyang skin test. Tuberculosis test, or you're also known as your PPD. PPD. What is PPD? Purified protein derivatives. Purified protein derivatives. Babasahin mo yan. Okay, mag-administer ka yan. Parang skin test. Then you're going to read it after 48 to 72 hours. After 48 to 72 hours. A more than 10 millimeter enlargement in the will is a positive tuberculin test. Means to say that the child is really exposed to tuberculosis. Okay? So pag sinabi natin tuberculosis, nagkakaroon sila ng bronchitis like symptoms. Bronchitis like symptoms. So what is your signs of bronchitis? We have your cough and difficulty of breathing, plus your late afternoon or low-grade afternoon fever. Okay? Next, nagkakaroon din sila ng infrequent symptoms. Infrequent symptoms. Children might show mild or no symptoms at all. May mga instances na nakikita mo or nalalaman mo lang na may tuberculosis ang bata pag sila ay lumaki na. Okay? It happened to my mother-in-law wherein when she applied for her visa sa Canada, it was found out na meron siyang lesions in her lungs, which is actually a history of tuberculosis. Kaya medyo na-delay siya pang umalis in going Canada. Okay? Another one, night sweats is a common finding pag ikaw ay may tuberculosis. Night sweats. Then, nagde-develop din yung tinatawag na fever. Fever or low-grade, okay, fever. Low-grade fever. Then, hindi makakain ang bata. Anorexia. Anorexia or your poor appetite that leads into weight loss. Then, nagkakaroon din ng non-productive cough. Non-productive cough. Kaya sakalang po nagiging productive ang yung tuberculosis pag malala na yung condition. Okay? And of course, meron tayong fatigability or your tiredness. Tiredness. Again, diagnostic test natin dito. Pwede ang tuberculin test. Ilagay na lang natin dito. Diagnostic test for primary complex. We have your tuberculin test or your PPD. Okay? Which gives you, gagawin po ito na parang skin test. Then you're going to measure it after 48 to 72 hours. More than 10 millimeter is considered as positive tuberculosis, positive primary complex. We also have your chest X-ray to check for lesions. Chest X-ray to check for lesions in your sputum exam. Sputum exam. Okay? Ano ang medication natin dito? We're going to give medication na RIPES. Ano ang RIPES, sir? Rifampicin, isoniazid, pyrazinamide, ethambutol, and your streptomycin. O, ilagay natin dito, RIPES. Rifampicin. Medication for tuberculosis, rifampicin. Isoniazid, pyrazinamide, ethambutol, and streptomycin. So side effect nito, side effect of this drug, pag sinabi natin rifampicin, red, orange, urine. Pyrazinamide is itchiness or your tinatawag na paresthesia. Peripheral neuritis. Paresthesia. We have pyrazinamide, increase uric acid, eye neuritis, or affects your vision, eye neuritis. Streptomycin affects your ear, ototoxic. Then it also affects your kidney, nephrotoxic. Streptomycin, ototoxic, and nephrotoxic. So para management, lahat po sila ay pwede madamage ang atay. Okay? Kaya you have to watch it out also. So, infection control, kailangan well-ventilated ang room kasi ito po ay nakakahawa sa pamagitan ng pulmonary, okay, airflow or yung respiratory, okay? So, yung sa pamagitan lang ng paghinga at paglanghap, pwede mo na pong makuha yung sakit. But of course, for as long as mataas ang inyong immune system, pwede din naman pong hindi ka mahawa sa sakit. Okay? So, that is your pulmonary tuberculosis. Pulmonary tuberculosis. Hello guys, andyan pa ba kayo? Are you guys following? Nakakasunod po ba? Baka pala wala na akong listener. Ang daming topic kasi nitong kailangan kong i-discuss tapos parang nakukulangan ako sa oras. But anyway, sana po nakakasunod tayo. Guys, are you still with me? Check, 1, 2, 3. Uy, salamat po sa mga nag-send ha. Hindi ko napansin, umabot na pa tayo sa 43 diamonds. Okay? Salamat po sa mga nagsisend ng inyong appreciation gift. Thank you very much po. Sana po ay patuloy din po kayo mag-send para patuloy kong magawa ang mga ganitong activities. Okay? Pag-usapan natin next condition natin, baka lumabas, cystic fibrosis. Lagi sa akin sinasabi ng lecturer ko noon, cystic latic. Cystic latic. Pag sinabi natin cystic latic, latic means thick. Okay? Pag sinabing thick, malapot, makapal. So tandaan nyo, kapag cystic fibrosis, thick ang mucus ng ating katawan. Pinanganak ang batang ito, okay? Pinanganak ang batang ito na may thick mucus. Thick mucus. That affects your lungs, your pancreas. That affects your lungs, your pancreas, and your liver. Yan yung tatlong organ na common na apektuhan ng inyong cystic fibrosis. Okay? Lungs, pancreas, and your liver. So basically, once this is affected, it leads into damage. Yung sa tatlong organ na yan. Okay? It leads into the damage. Okay? Into this organ. Aside from that, naapektuhan din po ang digestion. Kaya nagli-lead into malabsorption. Alam naman natin ang ating gastrointestinal tract is responsible for absorbing the nutrients. And take note, your gastrointestinal tract is covered by mucus. And imagine that mucus na sobrang kapal, sobrang thick. At dahil sa sobrang thick ng mucus na yan, hindi na-absorb your nutrients, leading into malabsorption. Okay? So what are the key features? Okay? Key features of cystic fibrosis. So remember, mucus. M-U-C-U-S. Mucus. Ano yung mucus na yan cell? Letter M, malabsorption. Tulad ng sabi ko, ang condition na may cystic fibrosis, ang kanilang mucus sa gastrointestinal tract is also thick. Because of this thick mucus, foods, okay, are not able to digest because of the pancreatic ducts are blocked and poor digestion of fats and proteins dahil hindi rin po mailabas ng maayos si bile. Therefore, foods that we eat if we have cystic fibrosis are not properly absorbed by the body, leading into malabsorption disorder. So inisip nyo na, pag hindi nagkakaroon ng absorption ng mga nutrients, nagkakaroon tayo ng vitamins and minerals deficiency, at the same time, caloric deficiency. Therefore, these patients appears to be thin or payat. Nagkakaroon din to ng tinatawag na unproductive cough. Sir, bakit nagkakaroon ng unproductive cough? Not because there is no secretions, but because we are unable to produce or expectorate cough or expectorate phlegm because it is too thick to expectorate. Sobrang lapot, sobrang kapit niya sa lungs kaya hindi natin siya ma-expectorate. Kaya meron tayong unproductive cough. Letter C. Chronic respiratory infections. These children, develops recurrent lung infection such as pneumonia and other infection because the secretions in their lungs is too thick to expel, causing now retained of the bacteria. Natatrap yung mga bacteria and it will increase now the chance of your immune system response on that particular part of the lungs. Tendency, nagkakaroon tayo ng infection of the lungs. Okay? So that is your mucous, chronic respiratory infection. Ano pa? Unable to gain weight. Pag sinabi natin unable to gain weight, because of the malabsorption. Because of the malabsorption, we are unable to absorb now the nutrients. Okay? And the last one is your S, salt loss. Sir, paano nawawala ang salt sa ating katawan? Okay? Children with cystic fibrosis have salty tasting, indicating na nagkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag na salt imbalance. Okay? Salt testing indicating a loss of your salt balance. Okay? So that is what happening kapag meron tayong tinatawag na cystic fibrosis. Now, since we know already what are the signs and symptoms of or features of your cystic fibrosis, ang management natin would focus on addressing those symptoms. Because take note, cystic fibrosis is uncurable. Hindi po siya nagagamot. However, we can manage the signs and symptoms. Number one is pag may airway clearance problem, then kailangan magkaroon tayo ng CPT o yung tinatawag na, treatment tayo. Treatment, number one is your CPT or yung tinatawag na chest physiotherapy, a form of physical therapy that helps now lose mucus, to lose mucus sa respiratory tract and prevent infection. Kailangan din magkaroon tayo ng nutritional support. We have to have nutritional support. And in terms of nutritional support, we have to provide a high level of nutritions or high level of nutrients in order para ma-absorb ng pasyente. Pancreatic enzymes would also be replaced, which is known to as your PERT therapy or pancreatic enzyme replacement therapy. Ang diet natin sa mga pasyenteng ito, is high calorie, high fat diet to support growth and weight gain as well. Magbibigay din tayo ng infection control measures. Always wash your hands. Respiratory infections promptly so they can be worsened. That's why we have to monitor and prevent this by giving antibiotic as well. Pwede tayo magbigay ng nebulization to loosen the secretions. For pulmonary rehabilitations, encourage the patient to do exercise, then monitor for signs of complication such as diabetes, liver disease, and respiratory infection or failure. Sir, bakit pwede magkaroon ng inyong diabetes, liver disease? Kasi pwede tayo magkaroon ng tinatawag na autoimmune response. Wherein, since hindi makalabas yung mga enzymes dahil sobrang lapot, it would stay in the organ, it will kill the organ itself. At pag nasira si pancreas, since this is one of the organ na pwedeng mag-fail, definitely decrease ang production natin ng insulin. And a decreased insulin production leads into diabetes mellitus. Yun po ang ibig sabihin nun. Okay? So sana po maliwanag tayo doon. Sana po nandyan pa kayo, guys. Nandyan pa ba kayo? Do I still have audience on the line right now? Again, your PERT. What is your PERT, mga kapatid? That is your pancreatic enzyme replacement therapy. Pancreatic enzyme replacement therapy. I will try to download and upload this video po sa aking YouTube channel so that you can still watch it. Okay, kahit hindi po kayo naka-attend today. Okay, sana po ay nakikinig pa yung iba dyan. Okay, tuloy na po tayo sa ating next condition. Let me discuss hemophilia. Hemophilia. Pag sinabi nating hemophilia, from the word itself, this is actually a blood condition. Okay, hemophilia is a blood condition wherein nagkakaroon tayo ng deficiency in clotting factor. Deficiency in clotting factor that leads to bleeding. Deficiency in clotting factor that leads into bleeding. So what are the signs and symptoms plus management of your hemophilia? We have your bleed. Ano po ang ibig sabihin ng bleed, sir? Bruising easily. So bruising easily is one of the manifestation because of the lack of clotting factor. Okay? Ano pa? Longer bleeding times. So longer bleeding times, even for minor cuts or injuries, kahit maliit na sugat lang yan, ang tagal magdugo ng sugat simply because you have lack epilepticus. Done na po ako sa cardiovascular arteriations. Yun po yung first topic ko kanina. Anyway, I'll be uploading this sa aking YouTube channel. You can watch it there po. So, longer bleeding time. Okay, longer bleeding time, easily bruising, longer bleeding time. Ano pa? Excessive internal bleeding. Kaya delikado ang condition na ito. Excessive internal bleeding. Okay? Excessive internal bleeding such as into joints and muscles. Then episodes of spontaneous bleeding. Episodes of spontaneous bleeding. Episodes of spontaneous bleeding such as your bruising and swelling. And the last one is your disability. Disability. So disability is because of the joint damage. Okay, disability is due to joint damage. So or the bleeding into joints can cause now pain and long-term issues. Okay, kaya pwede magkaroon ng disability sa bata. Okay, so ang management natin, number 1, we can give clotting factor administration. Clotting factor administration or replacement. So kadalasan, okay, depende sa factor na nawawala. If the clotting factor is factor 8 or factor 9. Okay, kapag factor 8, this is your hemophilia A. Pag factor 9, this is your hemophilia B. So, depende kung ano yung nawawala. Okay? So, this is the factors that we will be giving. If it's A, then clotting factor 8 ang nawawala. Clotting factor 9 ang nawawala pag hemolytic B or hemophilia B. And this is done through IV infusion therapy. Okay, this is done through IV infusion therapy. Of course, kasama sa management natin ang monitor for bleeding. Monitor for bleeding. What else? Pain management is also included. Lalo kapag meron na tayong damage, okay, joints. Okay? And we also have your prevent injuries. Prevention of injuries is because pag nasugatan sila, mas lalo sila magdurugo. Okay? So in terms of pain management, by the way, you have to avoid NSAIDs. Instead, ang drug of choice natin is acetaminophen. Bakit bawal ang NSAIDs? Because NSAIDs can cause gastrointestinal bleeding. At the same time, NSAIDs affects, okay? NSAIDs affects yung ating clotting factor, okay? Or your platelet coagulation. Pwede po ba sila bigyan ng blood transfusion? Depende po. There are management on how to manage that. However, ang condition kasi na ito, magbibigay ka lang ng blood transfusion if sila po ay nagkaroon na ng bleeding. Okay? But ang focus kasi ng treatment natin sa mga hemophilic patient is really to prevent injuries or conditions. Since ang problema ng laman po is the clotting factor at walang problema sa blood, okay, content, hindi po natin kailangan magbigay ng whole blood or yung RBC, okay? Kasi ang kulang lang naman po nila is the factors or your clotting factors. Therefore, what they really need is your clotting factor administration or replacement. Depende na lang kung hemophilia A or hemophilia B. Aquamifeton, bibigay lang natin yon kapag sila ay meron ng too much bleeding. Kasi there is already problem with the volume of the blood. Pero kung wala namang problema sa volume of the blood, what we just need to give is the clotting factor. So sana po nasagot ko yung tanong ni Ma'am Aquamifeton or Sir Aquamifeton. Okay? Prevent injuries, okay? Kailangan din natin gawin yan. And also joint physical therapy. Okay? Joint physical therapy. That is your hemophilia. I'll try to discuss yung ibang condition mamaya. Okay? Try ko lang i-cover yung mga nasa checklist ko rito. Kasi ang ginagawa ko po ngayon is review para sa exam ng aking mga anakis sa school. Okay? Next, our next topic is siguro pag-usapan muna namin yung kasi na-discuss ko naman na kadalasan yung kalamin yung iba dito. Okay. Since na-discuss ko na yung hemophilia, tuloy pa rin natin sa hemophilia. Let's continue with other conditions, other blood conditions. Next topic natin is si thalassemia. Okay? Thalassemia. So, talk about thalassemia, genetic blood disorder pa rin po ito. Okay? Wherein the body produces insufficient hemoglobin. The body produces insufficient hemoglobin. Okay? Or nagkakaroon ng abnormal HGB. Abnormal hemoglobin. So there is an insufficient abnormal hemoglobin. This results now into anemia where the body doesn't have enough healthy red blood cells to carry in now your oxygen. Kapag sinabi nating thalassemia, it has two types. We have your alpha and your beta. Mas common po si beta thalassemia. Okay, pag sinabi nating alpha, this is okay, a decrease in alpha, okay, globin chains. alpha globin change of hemoglobin, while your beta naman, okay, is a decrease in, of course, beta globin change. So pag sinabi nating beta globin change, which can further classified into thalassemia minor or minor, intermedia, and major. So with major thalassemia being the most severe form. Again, kapag beta, it leads into your thalassemia minor, okay, thalassemia minor, thalassemia intermedia, and the most severe is thalassemia major. So from the word itself, major. Thalassemia major. Minor, intermediate, and major. Between alpha and beta, beta is more common. And by beta, we have your thalassemia, minor, intermediate, and major, being major as being the most severe form. Okay? So what are the signs and symptoms of this condition? So signs and symptoms, mnemonics natin for thalassemia is your thalassemia. Thalassemia. Let's go your thala muna. Thala means tiredness. Madaling mapagod. Why? This is due to anemia and low level of oxygen. Meron tayong presence of hypoxia. Because of hypoxia, decrease ang carrying ng oxygen to the different parts of the body, tendency, body is not receiving enough oxygen, madaling mapagod. Okay? Next is H, hydrops. Hydrops fetalis. What does hydrops fetalis means? So hydrops fetalis means a severe form of high alpha thalassemia which can be fatal before birth. Okay, this is your alpha thalassemia and fatal before birth. So tendency, bago pa ipanganak ang bata, namamatay na. Okay, pag alpha thalassemia. Okay, your hydrops fetalis sa tinatawag. Okay, of course, thalassemia is a form of anemia, kaya magkakaroon tayo ng paleness, meron ding fatigability or fatigue, and your shortness of breath. Madaling mapagod or madaling hingalin. Okay? Thalassemia, nagkakaroon tayo ng liver and spleen enlargement. Bakit nagkakaroon ng liver and spleen enlargement? This is due to increased blood cell destruction and the body is trying now to compensate. Okay, trying to compensate. Letter A, abnormal hemoglobin level. Abnormal hemoglobin level due to mutations in alpha and beta globulin change. At pag normal, value is 12 to 16 milligram per deciliter. 12 to 16 milligram per deciliter po yan. So, below 12 milligram per deciliter is considered as low. Then, letter S, skeletal abnormalities. Skeletal abnormalities. Magde-develop ng skeletal abnormalities. Pag sinabi natin skeletal abnormalities, mga kapatid, this is due to bone marrow expansion. This is due to bone marrow expansion. This is due to bone marrow expansion. Letter S, splenomegaly. Splenomegaly. Splenomegaly is because of the enlargement of spleen due to increased red blood cell destruction. Letter E, excess iron. Excess iron is because of from frequent blood transfusion leading to iron overload na tinatawag. Okay, due to frequent blood transfusion. Letter M, Letter M is mild to severe symptoms. Mild to severe symptoms depending on the type of thalassemia. Of course, ang pinaka-major nga natin is your thalassemia major. Letter I, iron chelation. Iron chelation therapy. What does iron chelation therapy means? This is to remove excess iron. To remove excess iron due to transfusion. And letter A, this is an autosomal recessive condition. Autosomal recessive inheritance. Meaning, parents must be carrying both genes in order to pass it down. So dapat parehas na magulang ay meron nung sakit para maipasa nila ito sa kanilang mga anak. Yan ang tinatawag na thalassemia conditions. Again, ang more common is your thalassemia B. Okay, among the three naman na thalassemia B or your beta, we have your minor, intermedia, and major. Pinaka-common at pinaka-delikado ay si major. Ang thalassemia A or your alpha globin change thalassemia or alpha thalassemia, commonly child will die prior pa maipanganak. Okay? So that is your thalassemia. Anong management natin? Management is blood transfusion, iron overload management, bone marrow transplant, folic acid supplementation, and manage complication. Management of complications. Management of complications. Yan. So that is your thalassemia. Okay, thalassemia. It's already almost 11. I need to pack up things pa po kasi as much as I would like to continue our discussion, we will try to discuss this. Hindi ko alam kung may internet dun sa pupuntahan namin. We'll try. Pag wala, pasensya na po. But we will try po, we will try. Okay, kung may internet naman po sa mga pupuntahan kong lugar, is baka makapag-live pa rin tayo. Pero pag wala, okay, then I'm sorry, pero yun ganun talaga. Okay, so we will park on that po. Maraming salamat po sa ikinig. Maraming salamat sa ating new 63 followers. Okay, alam ko may mga nanonood pa, but unfortunately, I really have to go. Yes, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for sharing. Thank you for those who have sent diamonds. Salamat po sa inyo lahat. And I'm gonna see you sa ating next live. Hindi pa natin alam kung kailan, but I will try my best. I will look for time, okay, kung kailan. Pag malakas yung internet sa mga pupuntahan ko, then we will do live. So salamat po sa pakikinig. See you all. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oy, thank you. May nagpahabol pang magpa-send. Maraming salamat po sa mga nagsisend, nag-donate. Yes, I'm gonna see you all. See you all sa mga susunod na araw. Yun, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Uy, salamat po talaga. May mga nagpahabol pang mag-send. I-try ko. Pag hindi ko kaya na, o di baka matry ko pong magbigay sa inyo ng notes. Salamat po sa pakikinig. Maraming salamat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. I just want you to know who I am. Bye.